Audiences everywhere enjoy a good ghost story, flocking to the cinema all year round to be terrified by horror movies or binging on the latest hair-raising show for creepy thrills. Of course, those scenarios are just stories. But when they happen in real life, things become a lot more frightening. There are legends retold within the film industry of haunted soundstages or spirits of stars long departed. There are also tales of film sets where rumours of supernatural phenomena and eerie curses are well known. Whether you believe ghosts are real or not, the following stories of strange occurrences on film and television sets are based on truthful accounts by witnesses. Unsurprisingly, many of these are shows or movies dealing with the supernatural, where the characters may have become a little too real for comfort. The Exorcist. The reports from the set of the 1973 thriller have become legendary in circles of horror fans and devotees of the paranormal. A media frenzy surrounded the film at the time of its release, based on rumours that its production had been troubled, possibly cursed. At one stage, an unexplained fire swept through the set of the McNeil home. But weirdly, the bedroom of the possessed girl Regan, played by Linda Blair, stayed completely untouched by the blaze. In the film, the character of Chris McNeil, played by Ellen Burstyn, was hurled back into the floor by Regan. The actual stunt unfortunately caused a real-life permanent spinal injury for Burstyn. Several tragedies among those who worked on it are also rumoured to be linked to involvement in the film, said to be 9 in total. Actor Jack McGowan, whose characters also passed in the movie, coincidentally met his end a week after the release of The Exorcist. Vasiliki Meliaris also passed while the film was in post-production. The eerie aspect of their respective demises is that their characters passed in the film as well. Other tragic ends surrounding stories of rumoured exorcist curse were that of Linda Blair's grandfather, a special effects technician, a night security guard, and Max von Sydow's brother, who passed on Max's first day of filming. An ultimate chill was a lightning strike that incinerated a 400-year-old cross directly opposite in the street where the movie was premiering, and occurring just as the screening began. US televangelist Billy Graham actually made the public statement that the very celluloid of the film was cursed and contained dark subliminal messages. In 2016, a television series also named The Exorcist and taken place in the same setting as the Exorcist movie went to air on Fox. Interviewed by Entertainment Weekly, some actors described several bizarre on-set occurrences during filming of the show. Actor Hannah Kozolka played the character of Casey Rance, who was possessed in the story. She recalled that when the crew was shooting the pilot, they would occasionally be in the elevator and it would take them straight to the 13th floor, although no one had ever pressed that button. Gina Davis, who appeared in the first season, recounted that a priest had been called in to bless the set. So somebody obviously thought that this was necessary to avoid some anticipated problems for the production. The Ghost Whisperer. While this television series portrayed some tense moments, CBS's The Ghost Whisperer was a more human interest melodrama than a genuine horror. Although Jennifer Love Hewitt's character, Melinda Gordon, was dealing with spirits on a regular basis, it wasn't a show you might associate with Hauntings. However, Hewitt recounted in a 2007 interview multiple incidents on the set that mystified crew and cast members. Lights and equipment appeared to move on their own, and regularly a light bulb would explode for no apparent reason. In one incident, the crew observed a strange movement behind Hewitt during filming. It looked like a shadowy figure was present just past her shoulder. Curious to find the source of the strange phenomenon, the crew replayed the take they'd just shot. They were stunned to see what appeared to be a dark form like a shadow turning to look back over its shoulder, captured on film while Hewitt was working. The crew also sensed that there were energies surrounding some locations. In one incident, they were filming in a particular part of some land where there was a building Hewitt had to walk out of at the start of a scene. She later told how there'd been 7 crew members who had to enter the building and reported eerily odd experiences. She would explain that she and crew members distinctly felt their clothing being tugged, seemingly by invisible hands. One woman felt a sweater sleeve being dragged back, and another crew member felt the hem of his jeans being tugged, while Hewitt felt the hem of a dress being yanked repeatedly. No one could explain who or what was doing the tugging. Coronation Street. This marathon British soap opera is renowned for its powerful characters and gritty portrayal of a working class community. The British Isles are well known as home to a multitude of hauntings, and the successful long-running show seems to have had at least 2 scrapes with supernatural forces. During 1983 to 1984, the show was using a temporary rehearsal studio with the Granada Television Complex in Manchester. The studio had been established on a site where condemned prisoners had once been housed, and was also thought by paranormal researchers to be subject to the unusual and powerful earth energies of a ley line. Several actors in the cast sensed and were unnerved by the mysterious forces in the new accommodation, which was rumoured to be cursed. Tragedy struck the production as one by one actors playing key characters passed away. Peter Dudley, Violet Carson, Jack Hayworth and Bernard Eusens, while Doris Speed and Barbara Knox were forced out due to illness. Circumstances became so bad on the show that reportedly other actors threatened to quit if action wasn't taken in relation to the malevolent spirits. It is said that the producers had to engage an exorcist to clear the place out, and then things improved when the production moved from its temporary home. However, in recent years, the soap's permanent set at the Granada Studios in Manchester was also thought to be inhabited by restless spirits, possibly those of former Victorian-era dock workers, because the studio was located close to a shipping canal. Unexplained banging noise and exploding equipment created an eerie reputation for the building, so much so that the BBC Two show Inside Number 9 even cancelled their planned use of the studio for filming. 2 previous actors in the series, now deceased, are also said to often visit the set as ghosts, Pat Phoenix and Jean Alexander. In 2019, Julia Goulding, who acts in the role of Shona Ramsey, recounted a particularly strange occurrence. She said that the actors had been doing a take when the sound operators had to pause the take because they were hearing a clamour of whispering over the booms. As was usual, they called, "Everyone, please be quiet," but not a single person had been talking, and the set was completely silent. The source of the whispering voices was a complete mystery. The Conjuring. The names of Ed and Rain Warren are well known to followers of those reality shows where people discuss their brushes with the supernatural. The duo of clairvoyant paranormal investigators travel the world in a quest to combat dark entities and assist families beleaguered by supernatural forces. Unsurprisingly, the later dramatisation of their lives and work attracted some of its own dark forces. Some of the astounding events included Joey King, who played Christine Perron in the 2013 film, being covered in bruises despite not being involved in any stunts or having any accidents on set. Vera Farmiga, who played the part of Rain Warren, observed 3 claw marks appearing on her skin as bruises. Director James Wan had stills from the paranormal movies Insidious appear on his iPad despite never placing the images on there. The solution to these eerie occurrences was that every film production in the Conjuring franchise, from Annabelle to The Conjuring 2, has arranged for a set blessing. Its publicist, James Ferreira, has revealed that an exorcist recommended to the producers by Lorraine Warren was engaged to administer the blessing. The exorcist was a friend of hers who was sanctioned by the church to specifically exorcise buildings, but not people. Ferreira explained that apparently there are different levels of sanctions for exorcisms.